From Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw. Act 5. Mrs. Higgins' drawing room. She is at her writing table as before. The parlour maid comes in. Mr. Henry, ma'am, is downstairs with Colonel Pickering. Well, show them up. They're using the telephone, ma'am. Telephoning to the police, I think. What? Mr. Henry's in a state, ma'am. I thought I'd better tell you. If you had told me that Mr. Henry was not in a state, it would have been more surprising. Tell them to come up when they've finished with the police. I supposed he's lost something. Yes, ma'am. Go upstairs and tell Miss Doolittle that Mr. Henry and the Colonel are here. Ask her not to come down till I send for her. Yes, ma'am. Look here, mother. Here's a confounded thing. Yes, dear, good morning. Eliza's bolted. You must have frightened her. Frightened her? Nonsense! She was left last night, as usual, to turn out the lights and all that. And instead of going to bed, she changed her clothes and went right off. Her bed wasn't slept in. She came in a cab for her things before 7 this morning, and that fool Mrs. Pierce let her have them without telling me a word about it. What am I to do? Do without it, I'm afraid. Henry, the girl has a perfect right to leave if she chooses. But I can't find anything. I don't know what appointments I've got. Good morning, Mrs. Higgins. Has Henry told you? What does that ass of an inspector say? Have you offered an award? You don't mean to say you have set the police after Eliza? Of course. What are the police for? What else could we do? The inspector made a lot of difficulties. I really think he suspected us of some improper purpose. Well, of course he did. What right have you to go to the police and give the girl's name as if she were a thief or a lost umbrella or something? Really? But we want to find her. We can't let her go like this, you know, Mrs. Higgins. What were we to do? You have no more sense, either of you, than 2 children. Why? Mr. Henry, a gentleman wants to see you very particular. He's been sent on from Wilpolm Street. Oh, brother, I can't see anyone now. Who is it? Mr. Doolittle, sir. Doolittle? Do you mean the dustman? Dustman? Oh, no, sir, a gentleman. By George, Pick, it's some relative of hers. That she's gone to, somebody we know nothing about. Send him up, quick. Yes, sir. Genteel relatives, now we shall hear something. Do you know any of her people? Only her father, the fellow we told you about. Mr. Doolittle. See here. Do you see this? You done this. Done what, man? This, I tell you. Look at it. Look at this hat. Look at this coat. Has Eliza been buying you clothes? Eliza, not she. Not half. Why would she buy me clothes? Good morning, Mr. Doolittle. Won't you sit down? Asking your pardon, ma'am. Thank you. I am that full of what has happened to me, and that I can't think of anything else. What the dickens has happened to you? I shouldn't mind if it had only happened to me. Anything might happen to anybody, and anybody to blame but Providence, as you might say. But this is something that you done to me. Yes, you, Henry Higgins. Have you found Eliza? That's the point. Have you lost her? Yes. You have all the luck, you have. I ain't found her, but she'll find me quick enough now after what you done to me. But what has my son done to you, Mr. Doolittle? Done to me, ruined me, destroyed my happiness, tied me up and delivered me into the hands of my class mortality. You're raving. You're drunk. You're mad. I gave you £5.